Can't say that outside the green room now,
No,
can you?
that is green room material right there.
Ah,
That is
hi,
right.
everybody. Thursday night live. We're glad you're here.
And we are glad to have you back in the saddle, man.
I love traveling, and my wife and I had a good trip and all that. But I will tell you, I am glad to be back home. I really am. And it's hotter here, and it's more humid here, and I don't like heat or humidity. But we were gone. We left September 30th, and we got back yesterday. No, we got back on Tuesday, so that was the 24th. So what, 25 days long? Hey Teresa, hey Janelle, but we had a great trip. Got to go see one of the most amazing places I've ever seen in my life, and it's called the Villages, Florida, and I
Wow.
tell you, I love that place. I really
I'm
do.
pretty sure that it was Kathy Dombrowski. I've got to message her and find out if she pops on tonight. We'll ask her. That lives there now, and she was so excited about it too.
I tell you, I wish I had known that we had any of our folks there. I would have definitely found a way to meet
And
up with
she's
her.
from Texas too, because the reason I went, oh my God, is because she said they at one of the clubs there or something they had Texas night,
And
and
they,
all the people from Texas that lives in the villages were meeting there.
they'll
So
have plus. The place. Oh, hi June. The place is 35 miles long. Let me get hands and screen here.
mm,
35 miles long, 15 miles wide. That's 525 square miles of 55 and older community, right up my alley. Right.
wow.
And you got it's like 600, 700 holes of golf. They've got championship courses. They've got executive courses. Restaurants. They've got more places to just go have fun than any place I've ever seen. We had a blast. We really did.
If
We
I
stayed in a
come
little.
visit, I get to drive the golf cart though.
You can, you can. If we end up buying there, you come on down visit anytime. We'll have room. All right. And
I'm driving the golf cart. Yeah, yeah.
it was funny. The golf cart is a great idea, and it's a golf cart area, but it's so large. Well, I remember one night we drove 45 minutes in a golf cart to get to where we were going.
Oh,
And so most of the time, I think if we do end up going there full
you
time,
just
and,
move
and
it
I
here.
don't know that we will. That's too far away from her parents, a little bit too far away from my daughters for me to be so happy. But I just love the idea of it. And if we were to do that, I think I'd end up driving my car a lot because I'd have to
Right.
I'd have to fight with Laurie over the golf cart if we did.
Well, you both like driving. Yeah. When we go to Disney World, we stay at the campground with the cabins
Mhm.
because I'm not camping. Let's let's get
Glamping.
serious.
You're
Yeah, we're
glamping.
glamping because I am not camping, but I can do the cabins and we get a golf cart. I originally got the golf cart because I thought my mother would drive it, so she would have a little freedom. Oh no, she wouldn't touch it.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah, she would have nothing to do with the golf cart, and she's even driven ones before she played golf. So I was surprised because you can't really kill somebody with a golf cart.
Oh, I wouldn't think that was necessarily true. We did
You
see three
tried it.
alligators. Laurie spotted all three of them. We did see three alligators, and let's see. Gosh, here's how it started. We started off. We went to New Orleans for 4 days because we were
Oh,
going with two other couples who are here from Texas, and we all had a great time there. The food in New Orleans is wonderful. It was one of
beignets.
the very best research trips I've ever had in my life. I'm just going to tell you, that was good research because, as you know, the book that comes out in January is set in New Orleans, so it was definitely a research trip. And then we went to Gulf Shores, Alabama for a couple of days, checked that area out. Then we went to Destin for a couple of days. Then we went to Orlando for a week because we have a timeshare. We just traded it and went to Orlando for the week, and then went to the Villages for the week. Then we came back and spent 2 nights in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Oh,
And
Biloxi.
so I'm so glad to be home.
Which did you take the vehicle that you used to give me a ride to the airport that time? Or
Yes,
did you,
yes,
oh, because that's nice to travel in.
yeah. It was a comfortable
Nice.
travel.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of miles. That's thousands of miles,
Oh,
I'm sure.
yeah.
So.
Janelle says camping in a camper is the way to go. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to drive that thing. Those big giant RVs, I can't even believe that you don't need a CDL to drive those, right? It's like,
That's right. Hey, Don King. Don's asking. He's a little late getting here. What's the idea with beard or no beard? While we were gone on our trip, Don, I didn't shave. I said I'm not going to shave for the month of October, and we left on September 30th. But now I've got a kind of a beard going thing here, so I'm trying to decide. Okay, do I keep the beard or do I let the beard go? And I may put it out for a vote. And Lisa, when we were in the Go Givers call this week, we private messaged each other, and I said beard or no beard, and she said half a beard. So I came very close tonight, guys, and I so close to shaving half the beard off. And I was going to say, okay, Lisa, beard or no beard? And
yeah, but see, all of us know what happened last week with right, with Jenny, and I was gonna come on and do this and act like I was over here buck naked.
Anytime you and Jenny get together, I know the next week I come back, it is going to be crazy. And I want to know exactly how many a manzillion is. That's a confusing term. I want to know how many. Is it like more than a billion, more than a trillion? I'm confused.
Oh, Lisa Williams, who actually joined the Go Giver Success Alliance. She's one of my Avon buddies. She said, do the beard blue. Now, see, I'm voting for that. That's what I want to vote for.
So if I go Bluebeard, you're okay with it?
Bluebeard. It's better than blue. Never mind.
hey, Facebook user who just wrote, "Sup, Captain?" I don't know.
Bib.
I can't tell who. Oh, that's Bib. Hey, Bib.
That's
I'm
Lee
sorry,
Bibb.
I yelled into the microphone just then, didn't I?
I have no doubt that's Lee Bibb. Yeah. The Bibster. He hates it
so
when you
much
call
fun.
him
He and Molly both.
Yeah, he hates it when you call him Bibster. That's why I call him that. That's right. So,
that's just so unlike you to find someone's weak spot and exploit it.
You know what I told him that I don't understand? Well, he said Molly won't let him, but he's the blind guy. Those sticks that
he
are
sells
like
blinds, right?
Right. Yeah, that's it.
There's a joke there that I can't tell you except in the green room.
Oh, okay. Those sticks, those fluorescent blind guy sticks, are only like what? $8 or something. And I told him he could actually get one and beat somebody like Mullins and get away with it. Because he'd be like, I can't see anything, and just beat Mullins with it. Yeah. See, but Molly won't let him do that. I almost said won't let us do it. Molly won't let him do it. I don't understand why. See, I'm good with that.
I'm tempted to tell my joke about the blind guy.
Please do.
Okay, here it is.
Is it naughty?
Okay.
I don't only do it if it's naughty.
It's naughty, but I'm going to clean it up for our group.
Oh, come on. We want naughty. We want naughty.
These two nuns were doing some painting in the rectory to try to get the church up to to the color and all that, to update things, and they didn't want to get the paint all over their habit, so they decided to strip that down to their skivvies and do the painting that way. And they hear a knock at the door, and one of them goes over there and says, "Who is it?" And the guy says, "Blind guy." And she says, "Well, he can't see anything. Won't let him in." So she opens the door, and he says, "Nice underwear, sister. Where do you want me to put these blinds?" Actually, in the real joke, she'd have on the underwear, and he said, "Nice something else," but we'll leave that alone.
Ooh, that's naughty. Bib said, "I don't hate that," which he means Bibster. "I just don't like when people who aren't my friends call me that." Oh, okay. Well, that's disturbing. I was all this time, the whole premise of calling you it was because you hated it.
Biv, you've taken away one of her toys to play with as you told her that. You realize that, right?
So you know what it is? I think the beard that's hard is because like I've only seen you twice in person, so I mostly see you on Zoom.
Right.
You don't realize that you are missing this part.
Yeah. Normally, I think it's called a Fu Manchu. I normally just have the mustache and the beard.
Oh, I thought it was a goatee. What's a goatee?
The bottom part, and I could be wrong. I am definitely not an expert on this.
Oh,
but the bottom part is the goatee, but the mustache and goatee together, I think it's called a Fu Manchu.
A Fu Manchu? That sounds kind of fun, though. I wanted to say something there so bad and I didn't. See,
Yeah,
I contained my enthusiasm for that.
I am very proud of you. By the way, Scott Easter Day, thank you so much for the birthday goodies and the card you sent me. Thank you very much. That was much appreciated.
Don said Fu Manchu is actually a really long mustache, so that's the ones that go really
Oh,
long.
okay.
That's Fu Manchu.
Then I stand corrected only because I'm not sitting. By the way, I am wearing my Halloween costume for this year. I need to tell everybody about this.
Make the sound effect.
I
Make
am.
sure.
I'm wearing my Halloween costume. Here it
Yeah.
is. Ready?
Yeah.
Clark Kent, Superman.
We heard the sound effect.
Clark Kent, Superman.
Can you hear that? You can hear the sound effect.
I can. I didn't know you could until we did that in the green room.
Hey, listen, I did want to talk about something and get your opinion on it if it's okay with you.
It's always okay with me.
It's going to be now, huh? Right. This is one of those things. I know what I do, but whether it's right or not, who knows, right? Okay, so this is not just one person, but I had 3 people this morning.
Okay.
And it's not just our company, it's lots of companies, but they're having inventory problems, which in my 40-year window of career with Avon in particular, this is not only not the first time I've seen it, it's not even the 12th time I've seen it. It's not even the worst I've seen. But when you're either have a smaller window of career or this is the first time you've experienced it, it feels like the biggest thing that's happened and it's horrible.
Right.
I don't know how to, as a leader, what I'm saying to them is let's just make sure that we don't lose fact that there's nothing we can do about this. Control what you can do about it. So find out what we do have and sell that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just try to steer my customers. So if a customer calls me, I look it up and it's not there, and we don't have inventory of it, I'll say to the customer, gee, I'm sorry that's not currently on the line. Let's look together to see what else might work for you.
Right.
And just leave it at that. I don't tell a big long story about why they don't have it. I don't make excuses for them or for me. I don't get into it. I just try to get something else that'll work.
Right.
And then I try to make sure team members don't jump on the Tums Express over something we have no control over.
Right.
So what do you think? I just don't want to come off as not caring. I do understand and care. It's just that I don't get wrapped up in it because I can't control it.
Right.
So what are your suggestions on that?
My advice on that is pretty similar in all industries. I know it was the same way in the insurance industry. The shorter someone has been with an organization, the bigger those problems will seem in their heart. And in most cases, it's not a problem for the customer. The customer, the way you just talked about how you would handle it with a customer is perfect. It's not that big of a deal. That was not on the line right now. Let's go with something different, and let me help you pick that out. There are always going to be challenges in any business, but what you have to keep your organization focused on is the bigger picture. Don't let the little challenges that every business is going to have at one point or another. Don't let those little challenges steal your dream about what you're trying to get done. You're building something huge for your family. You're building something that's different. You're building something that will feed you for the long term. Little hiccups and bumps are going to happen, and they're going to go away, and then they're going to happen again in the future. It's just what happens. So you have to stay focused on why you're doing what you're doing. When you know why you're out there building a team, whether it's Avon or whether it's insurance or whatever, when you know why you're doing that, and you keep your eyes focused on that, and then focused on helping your customer in the best way that you can, it's not going to be as big of a deal to them. And once they get a little more time in, it's not going to be as a big deal to your team either. But it goes back to exactly that thing. The shorter their window of time is with the organization, their focus is narrow because that's all they've seen. And it's like one thing I wrote into Blue Hair is over the course of time, what happens is your perspective when you're going through something at first is like you're very close to a brick wall, and all you see is 3 or 4 bricks right in front of your face, and that can be daunting at times. But the more time you have that you back away from it, it's kind of like backing away from that brick wall. You can get far enough away that it all kind of blends in together, and it's not as big of a deal. And so it's just a matter of that perspective changing, and that perspective changes only on 2 things. And you know this because you're one of the best leaders I have ever seen in any organization, especially in direct sales. That perspective changes with their time, so they've got more, they can see more bricks at one time, and your belief in what you're doing and what they're doing. Because when they're getting started, they don't survive off their own beliefs. You can coach them, you can teach them, you can get them focused on why they're doing what they're doing, and that's what you should do. But in the beginning, they're surviving off your belief in what you're doing and your belief in them. So you just keep coddling that, you keep doing that, it's not like you're minimizing an issue, because sometimes issues can be kind of big deals to people. But what you're doing is
I felt like I was not being empathetic enough.
Right.
And matter of fact, one in particular was I wasn't getting past her concern, and she was just getting more wound. And I was thinking, oh God, I'm not handling this good. And I even fell to the fallback position of, I mean, what are our real options here, right? Do what the best we can with what we've got, or quit and start over somewhere else where they have other problems too, somewhere else. I mean, those are our real options. Right. And I've seen people that got so upset here that they quit and went somewhere else, and then that company went under. So, I mean, I don't think that quitting and starting brand new over somewhere else is a good option. Yeah. So you really have to but I want to not, I don't know, come off as so and I'm afraid I am. Well, it's not feeling enough or not empathizing enough.
Empathy is exactly what you show. You just don't sympathize. Sympathize is when you kind of say, yeah, that's a problem. I feel so sorry for you and all that. And it doesn't help. Empathy, it says, yeah, this is a problem that's going on right now. All companies have problems of their own. There's not one single industry you can go to, just like with people we do business with. I go to a restaurant, I go to anywhere, they're going to have issues too. And it's not always going to be perfect. But then empathy has said, yeah, that's not perfect. And I care about you, and I care enough to get you past this. And sometimes that does require just a little bit of tactful guidance. A lot of people call it tough love. I don't know that I agree with that term so much as I agree with tactful guidance. It says, yeah, that kind of sucks, but we're going to get through it, because all companies have a little issue here and there. And I'm going to teach you how to get through it. And guess what? The bigger your dream is, and the bigger your organization gets, and the bigger your customer base gets, the less you'll think of that as being a problem, or as it's just a hiccup.
You know why I thought she wasn't perceiving my reaction as empathetic enough? I'm not using the right word. I was thinking that because she kept repeating the problem or explaining it different or going and I thought, oh no, because I'm not, she must think that either I'm not understanding how upset she is, which I am understanding how upset she is. I just know that there is nothing that we can do. And I said to her at one point, it's not like we can yell at the company and that's going to help.
Right.
So I think the best we can do is manage our reaction to it. So if they have an inventory problem, we have to find out what's missing, or look just before we make the sale. And it's funny. So I'm dealing with a customer today after I had that big talk with her. The customer wanted a powder, and the color she wanted wasn't in stock. And I sat there, wrote up the ticket without the powder. The customer messaged me and said, how about a different color? And I'm like, oh, that was my job. So she said, put the other color down. I'll take that. I don't care which color it is. Oh, and I was the one that should have said that.
Well, something that you've been one of our early readers, so you've already read it, but Streetwise to Saleswise, subtitle being Become Objection Proof and Beat the Sales Blues. we
Mhm.
kind of talk about how to reset a frame, because what you're dealing with a team member like that is exactly the same as what we teach in the book about how to reframe that and how to handle as it comes up. You start with empathy and you recognize what's going on, then you kind of help them reframe it from a different perspective, and you work on a solution together. And so that's the kind of thing that I would think of during those times. You can't fix everything, but you can help people reframe it and see it in a different light and help them through it.
I think by the time we got to the end of the discussion, I think the two of us were good. It's just I felt that she thought I wasn't as feeling about the whole thing as I should have been, and I know
Mhm.
I can come off that way. And I was, wondering how to.
Pull out Huggy the Clown and you'll get through it.
Huggy the clown. That's
Huggy the
nice.
Clown. Don King wrote a comment here. Let's read this. Remember the four F's. We're not allowed to say the four F's except in the green room, Don. You're my friend. Stop that. All right. First, firsts, fears, failures, and frustrations. You relate to those newbies. Tell a story of an earlier time when you ran into that issue
Oh,
and you
that's
had a customer somewhere else put you on the same side. Here's what I learned.
oh,
It's
that's a good point.
very similar to
Fear
the
felt,
feel, felt, found. You
yeah,
know.
fear felt found. Yeah, that's that. Thank you, Don. That's a really good idea.
By the way, Don, great show this week with you and our own Lisa Wilber, our own direct sales legend, Lisa Wilber. Y'all were great on your show this week.
Yes, Don. Thank you very much. I really like the show too. I'm glad to. And you know how I look at my marketing is like that song, "Another Brick in the Wall." So I'm proud to have that brick in my marketing wall. I thought that was awesome. Already added it to our card.
Cool. I'm
So,
going to be on there with him again in December.
and
I
that's
think we're
awesome.
scheduled. Don will have to remind me. It's like the first Friday or second Friday of December, but I want to schedule that too. So
That's
Don's
awesome.
got a great show. If you guys aren't, if you're not following Don's show, you should. I follow it by going to LinkedIn and watch it there. He does a live show right now. It's every Wednesday morning at 9 my time here in the Central Time Zone. That will be 10 in the Eastern Time Zone, and then December it's switching to Fridays. But you can watch it recorded. But a great show. He always has good guests, and Don is one of the best interviewers I think I've seen. I really enjoy his show.
And in the Go Giver Success Alliance, we're doing the book club. You're going to have to jump in here because we're having a good time with that. Although I'm with Dawn, Peg, and me in on right after the Go Givers Alliance meeting on Wednesdays,
Hmm.
and all three of us have decided to stay on the same book. They're doing a book a month, and
I'm slower than that too sometimes.
right. So
That's why I write parables. They're short. I can handle that.
well, I think what a great thing. We're doing a book now on regret, and it's so funny because it's a total different than I've been living with regret all along. My whole thing about regret all my life has been no regrets as I throw my sword up in the air. No regrets. And that's not what the book, right? Yeah, it's like throw my sword in the air. That right. That's been my thing all along. And this book is more like you should use your regrets to help build your life and have better experiences, learn something from it.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense. But I spent my whole life throwing my sword in the air. So no regrets.
I'm glad Jenny's not on here when you say comments like that. I'm just.
That's right. I thought that was pretty cool of her to do what did she do? A naked healer? That was who was on her show. That
Something
was
like that, and I thought it was hilarious. I got so tickled at you too when I was watching the replay, and when I was typing comments, knowing okay, the thing's over, but I think it's the comments will still show up at the right time. But
oh
it was
yeah.
so funny. By the way, Don posted the link to his show, The Confidence Cultivator. It's his branding.
Oh, you're going to be on December 8th. That's awesome.
December 8th, right? So,
Yeah. Lisa Williams said, "I'm why she joined the Success Alliance." That's awesome. She was on the call on Wednesday. It is
yeah,
fabulous. You got to make sure you jump in and do a bunch of the stuff because that's how I'm making a lot of connections and stuff.
yeah.
So, no matter of fact, Lisa Williams, knowing that you're on there, I I get I don't know embarrassed when Bob says something nice. He toots my horn for me. I don't want her to think that, you guys go around saying how great I am all the time. It's like, oh, embarrassing.
Hey, Lisa Williams, I just saw what you wrote. That is such a sweet thing to put on here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know,
So,
that's something. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Angelique, or maybe it was Lisa. Somebody was talking on the call this week about telling one of their mentors. Maybe it was Alexander.
oh,
Telling
before,
one of their.
right. And that's when I wrote that comment about you.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm going to throw that challenge out to the group. I'm going to challenge everyone who's watching this recording live, or you're what you don't watch a recording live, do you? Okay, watching the show live or through the recording. One of the comments, and I really wish I remembered who it was. Someone was talking about how, oh, it was Angelique. It was my friend Angelique Lyle. That's who it was.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. It was my friend Angelique Lyle. I've known Angelique for a long time because we're both from Aflac. She's
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
sharpest,
I was in
nicest
her
people you'll
breakout.
ever meet.
I was in her breakout.
She's a sweetheart. I just love that girl to death. But she was talking about how she had told a mentor of hers early on in her life about how much that relationship meant to her. And that's exactly what we should all do. I did the same thing with Jack Amberson. In my book, The Unexpected Tour Guide, I wrote Jack Amberson into the story, and I really wrote the true character of the man. I learned so much primarily about how to be a good person and a good father from him. But I had told him that before I ever wrote the book. As a matter of fact, I had been in Texas for a number of years, and I just took the time to write him a letter and tell him, because for those of you who don't know the story of my mentor, Jack Amberson, he was my first sales manager. My first job out of college. There were no teaching jobs open. I ended up in sales with a musical instrument company, and Jack was my manager. And to decide if I wanted the job I was getting my master's degree out here in Texas. But to decide if I wanted the job, Jack said, look, come out during spring break, spend a week with me, stay at my house, you'll eat at my table, we'll go do the job together, and you can see if you like the job. Well, every morning, Jack got up early. We were up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, which for this old college boy at the time, that was early. But we'd have coffee around this table. His wife, Sharon, would fix us breakfast.
Oh.
And his kids at that time, his son, Ted, I think, was in first grade, and Becky, his daughter, was even younger, not even in school yet. And every morning, those two children, when they would wake up, they'd run in, they'd jump up in his lap, and he gave them a hug, and he gave them a kiss. And he said a sentence to his children that changed my life. It changed my daughter's life. It changed my grandchildren's life. And he said the simplest thing. He said, I love you so much. I am so glad God picked me to be your daddy.
Oh.
Now, I know my parents loved me. They worked hard. They put food on the table. I get that. But they weren't demonstrative. Excuse me.
Oh God, you're doing
I'm
it.
sorry. I know I do it to you when I do this. They weren't verbally demonstrative of that love. And when I heard that from Jack, it was a unique thing for me. And so that's how I raised my children. And my children are just two of the most amazing people. And so that made such a difference to me. I had written Jack a letter and said, you need to know this. He called me on the phone. He said, I just have to tell you, we hadn't seen each other at this time, probably this would have been in the 90s. I worked for him in the early 80s, so at least 10, 15 years when I did this. And he said, I just had to call you because when I read your letter, I started crying.
Oh.
And it was, and then when I drove, next time I was over in that area, I stopped, we had coffee together. But he has had such a powerful impact on my life. And when Angelique was telling that story this week about doing that with a mentor of hers and what it meant, I'm challenging everybody on this call, everybody who watches this in replay, think of somebody in your life that has meant something special to you. Call them on the phone, send them a letter, do something while they're still here and say, I just want you to know how you've impacted my life, because you'll change. It's a great thing for them. You'll change that. You'll change their moment for them, but it's going to change you. And that's so important. I'm sorry, I'm about to start bellowing tonight. Jack's sick and I don't like it.
No.
But anyway, I throw that challenge out there. Now I'm going to stop because I'm going to
No.
all crying, and we're going to stop that right now. So there.
Yeah, no, I've done that every time I've thought to do it, I've done it, and every time I've done it, it's made an impact on me and the other person. One of the ones I remember that I still get cards from him all the time is my sixth grade teacher, and it was one of the only men in the whole building, Mr. Paradise, Louis Paradise, and he was a big giant man, like 6'6", I think he was, but he will always made it fun. Always
Yep.
made it fun to be in school. And I wrote him and I said, I know this was years later, 20 years later or something. And I said, I just wanted you to know of all the teachers I had, I remember you because you were fun and you were
Yep.
just awesome that way. And we still at least holiday cards every year. And
It's
I'm
huge.
glad. And he always says, so many people don't reach out. And he said, when somebody does, it means the world to me. So, when you guys are taking this, take it seriously. Think
Yep.
back over your life and who you could make a difference for, because I think the receivers of your message can really benefit from how you felt. And you will too, because I'm so happy I said that to him while he was, he's still alive, but while he, yeah, because he's retired and moved on and he's, anyway.
Yep.
Yep.
We're getting comments in here. Lisa Williams says, I made her cry. Scott Easterday says, no crying. There's no crying in direct sales. Okay.
He goes with my mother's theory. If you stuff that back down where it belongs, you don't let that not run around.
Crying clown back in the trunk. All right. Someone who I don't know who it is said Lisa Whitten Wilber is an inspiration to me and everyone. She's an amazing person. I would happen to agree with that.
Thank you.
Coming and seeing, you say you love your kids. That's the best thing a person can ever do. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing that. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I took this all emotional tonight. It wasn't my intention, but you know why I did it? Because I've got on my Halloween costume. Clark Kent, Superman.
It's the sound effect for me.
I think what's happening is I think the sound's going through my hearing aids and it's scraping my hearing aids as it goes past. Oh,
the beard, the beard, it does make you look a little more cheeky.
Like my face looks fatter is what you're trying to say. That's what Laurie said. She says, I like it when your face looks fatter that way. I go, great, thank you.
I need to speak with Laurie about diplomacy lessons every time.
Yeah, you and Laurie both have about an equal amount of diplomacy. This can't be very good.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
Laurie's got a lot of insight, and she's an amazing person, very good at everything she's done. Sometimes she's a little direct. I'll just leave it at that.
Don said squirrel-like, so he's thinking you're holding.
So, November's coming, and I'm trying to decide, okay, shave it off for November or not. I haven't decided yet. But if you guys want to vote, I'll put a poll out on our group. Okay, beard or no beard.
See, yeah, I'm in no beard camp. Let's see who else is with me. Okay, Facebook user said, Lisa knows who I am, Debbie Matson. Yes, I do. Debbie and Kyle Matson came here to visit me, and we sat out and visited on my little porch. I heard she just moved to Littleton, New Hampshire. So I'm following along, Debbie. I absolutely know who you are.
I would have known, Debbie, had you not put your name with there, because on my end, it just says Facebook user.
No, it says that on mine too. Peg said, someone this week just thanked me for making a huge impact on their life 6 years ago, and it really made a difference to hear that kind of gratitude. Yeah, that's awesome. Dye it blue before you shave it. The photos will live on. Oh, see?
Who said that? Did Scott say that? That's a Scott comment, isn't it?
Do they have,
okay.
What is it? What's it called for men?
Evidence.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, the hair dye for men, just for men.
Just for men. In fact, I used to use it, and I finally quit. That's why my hair is getting more gray.
Do they have it in blue? Just for men blue?
I don't know, but they probably got something. Let's see. I was going to say something else, and now it's gone. That's what happens. Right before we left on our trip, as you know, I had my birthday, and we don't we laugh in the Go Givers group that we don't say our age anymore. We just say we got an upgrade. I just turned 64, so I just got an upgrade. I'm Jeff version 6.4. That's what I'm going with. Either that or I'm 50 plus. I'm 50 plus shipping and handling.
You guys can be as honest as you want. I'm going to continue to lie about my age.
Well, I did lie about my age. I said I'm 87. So for 64, I might look good, but for 87, I'm a dadgum stud, and you have to admit it.
Dadgum, you are.
Well, I was going to say damn stud, but I didn't. That's a green. I don't cuss in public. That's a green room thing.
That's a Texas thing. Dadgum, dangum. Right. No, dadgum.
Speaking of mentors who've been a lot in our lives, another one for me and you, I know, is Bob Berg.
Oh yeah.
The guy he has been such a positive influence on me. Before I ever knew, the book Endless Referrals was one of the books that changed my career, changed my path, and I made a lot of money because of that. And it was the things I got from him in that book and how I kind of tweaked it for my industry. But once I retired from Aflac and started doing the writing and speaking, I could not ask for a man to be more in my corner than him. And he's amazing. So.
You guys have this bromance going on in there.
Well, we don't hold hands or anything, but
in the Success Alliance on the Zoom, you have a bromance going on.
It's funny because sometimes we'll even wear the same color shirts, and I promise that it's totally an accident. But I'll get on there and I'll be in like a black shirt, he'll be in a black shirt. I go,
okay. We had a full house on Wednesday. That was good. Two screens. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's such a good group. Everybody that should get on that group. It's just such an awesome place. That's how we met Don King. That's how I met Peg. I didn't know Peg before that. You. So
me and Peg are buddies too. Me and Peg are buddies. We're travel buddies now.
That's right.
We're in a couple places already. We gotta go do some more traveling. Yeah, I'm thinking about going to Denver again and for my birthday again. So Scott said he's gonna have them kick me out if I don't of the new group that I joined up there. So in Denver. Yay, Kim's on too.
Hey Kim.
Yay. Yeah, Lisa Williams says she can't wait to get more involved. I think the trick of getting to know everybody is showing up either Tuesday night on a regular basis or Wednesday on a regular basis. And even if you don't say that much, I think you end up getting the connections. So it's building the connections, and because it was a while before like I knew you well enough to talk to you on the side, I think. Yeah.
I think the breakout rooms that they're doing now in the Go Giver Success Alliance is really good. And then when it first happened, I thought, I don't know if I really want to, that wasn't necessarily what I would have wanted to do. I think Bob maybe felt the same way, but this was Kathy Tajanel's brilliant idea. And it's such a great way to kind of get closer connected to people. I was on the call, when we did the call this week, I was on a breakout session with a new person, and I'm totally drawing a blank, and it's not because of anything other than there are bugs in Jeff version 6.4 that can't remember these things. But that, and then David was in there, and then a new lady was in there, and just the fun to talking to them.
You must shake your head or laugh every time we come back and someone that was in with me says, oh, Lisa told us the origin story for Blue Hair.
It's working for you.
But it's funny because usually they one of them or both of them don't know it, and this time it was George and Angelique, and neither one of them knew it. And actually, Angelique asked me, "How did that happen?" She said, and I said, "Oh God, let me tell you," because I love that. Yeah, and now they both like it, so it's funny.
I love that lady to death. She's from out in West Texas, I think Lubbock or something like that. Just a sweet lady. I hope her direction she's going in now just gets huge for her. I really do.
She's coaching, right? Coaching. Yeah, that's
she's
awesome.
Coaching, and she's working on a book, and so she's one of the people I will root for. I do that for a lot of people, obviously, but
you root for me. I like that.
I do constantly. I'm a walking ambassador for the direct sales legend, Lisa Wilber.
And I appreciate that.
I know you do.
The man, Jeff West. Well, we better wrap this up there because
Oh, it is. We're running over.
I got some
Okay.
driving to do tomorrow morning.
Green room. Scott Easterday just lied. He said Denver's beautiful in February. Scott, come on, man. We got to get out of here. Love you guys. If you have not yet posted a review on Amazon of Said the Lady with the Blue Hair, please do so. And when Streetwise to Saleswise comes out in the second Tuesday of January, we hope you do the same.
Yes, and thank you very much, everybody. We love you to pieces, and we'll be putting more content up in the group too. And welcome back, Mr. West. Thank you for your time tonight. Always.
Glad to be home.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Love you guys.